Hello everybody, NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers, and I'm not. This is going to be an interesting video, and I'm going to call it Fat Fingers. A lot of new folks, when they get out and they do their activation, and some of us old-timers too, especially us old-timers that still utilize paper logging. When we do the logs, we add a letter to the alphabet on a call sign. We shortened their call from a 2x3 to a 2x2. Or we heard a 2x2 and wrote a 1x3. We messed up the call sign. Period. We fat fingered it. We get home. We're in a panic mode. What do I do? First lesson of importance. Log what you hear. As much as we want to make sure every contact is accounted for and correct, you're going to make mistakes. And by the mistakes, you will learn how to make less mistakes. But let's talk about some opportunities to find the error, period. Posting it on Facebook is not necessarily a good place to ask, because the flames come out from everybody. It's the people who make the mistake and, well, they point at other people. Just write down what you hear. That's it in a nutshell. But let's talk about how the possibility. Since you're into Pota, if you go to the search field within Pota, and you put down the call sign you believe you heard to see if they're a registered Pota hunter or Pota activator. Okay? Put one letter at a time in to see what should populate and scroll. And you possibly see where you made an error. It happens. When you're out in the field and you're in a big pileup, you type in and you see that it's a good call. It's the wrong call, okay? But it's a good call, and you go with it. And somebody emails you and says, I don't believe you had my call right. Log what you hear. I know you don't want to hear that. One of the other ways to looking at things is do like I do. Don't put your log up the same day you do your activation, because I paper log, that's why. But go to your hunter's log. When you get home, go to your hunter's log and see if there's any calls that are very similar to what you think you may have fat fingered. It was a park to park. Okay, so that's one place to look. The second place to look, if you go to Pota Slack, SLACK, every Pota spot is there. Okay, every Pota spot. Somebody respotted you, it's there. Many DX stations will take the opportunity when they work you in Slack, okay? They will spot you and tell you, thank you from Brazil, and you'll see their call. You may have had a letter turned around or so because you didn't understand the dialect because of being DX. But many DX stations will do that. There are many park-to-park stations that will take the time to send you both parks or 3 parks or 4 parks, whatever they have. In the comments section, again, you're able to notice this from Pota Slack. is something that you need to join. It's sometimes hard to get the link to activate, to become active in it, okay? Another thing is, before you leave the park, if you have a little question, in my notebook when I'm out paper logging, I have a dash, I have an asterisk sign, I have a plus sign, I have a LU, look up. That's what it means to look up that call. I can go into my spot, and I can look at the very bottom side where it says history, the little green circle. If I click on that before 30 minutes from my activation, I can see everybody who spotted me on the Pota page, on the Pota spotting page. I can see everyone who spotted me there. You've got 30-minute window to actually look there to see who spotted you, to see a possibility of a call that you just doesn't recognize, or that's the call. There you go. Or somebody will put a park in there for you. There you go. That's just another opportunity. Now we're going to go back to the same thing I said in the beginning. Log what you hear. Log what you hear. And don't fret it. And don't say it won't happen to me, because it will. It happens to all of us. And getting on the page and trying to find out, sometimes you're going to hear a bunch of snide remarks from keyboard warriors that have nothing better to do than to just say, hey, write what you hear and you're good to go and keep on. That's all I can really share with you. Use the availability. Let's go back to it. Check your hunter's log when you get home. That's one source. Before you leave the park activation, you have 30 minutes before your QRT shuts you off. Go look at the history on your spot, and you'll see each and everybody that spotted you there. If you are at home and you're on the Pota Slack, every spot is recorded there. So you have some sources. Again, going back to the Pota page, if you take a partial of the call you think it is and type it in, you may find that they are an active registered hunter. And you may have just reversed a couple letters. It's easily done. May God bless you. Don't worry or don't fret. Don't sweat it. It's going to happen. You're not the only one that it's ever happened to. Will you ever be the only one? No. Keep going out there and having fun. November Charlie 4X Lima, NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers. I'm not. Just don't want you hunting for a call that you wrote what you heard, and that's what you should log it as. If you made a mistake, you'll fix it. If not, keep on going. 73s.